Hey, it's Sean Maher from Maher Olfactive. I just wanted to come back and talk to you about a new perfume I have coming out called Sun Soaked Eau de Parfum. It's a new perfume I made that is inspired by this kind of the sense of renewal we have going on. We have a lot of struggles in the world, a lot of things happening, pandemic, a lot of turmoil, and things just there's a lot of sense of hope and optimism. I mean, obviously, there's still a lot of work to do, a lot of things to be done, but it does feel like right now in the world there is like a renewed sense of optimism out there, and I think that I wanted to make a perfume to kind of reflect that and have out there what I'm feeling as well. So I made this sun-soaked eau de parfum, and it's something that's based around the neroli flower. So I think that that is just one of my favorite scents. It's just so bright, kind of citrusy, uplifting, but also has those kind of surprisingly like unexpectedly complex, which I think has some of those like undertones, like the throaty white flower aspect that I think that makes it such a fun, unique thing. But also, it makes me think of, well, I love the expression sun soaked. That idea that the sun, whenever it's coming down on a really bright day, just like it's saturated everything. Like everything is just so full of sunshine and sunlight that it's overflowing, and then you kind of feel in the air. It's kind of a thick scent that everything just radiating at you at the same time, and you're just like walking through this kind of air that's saturated because everything is so sun soaked. And I wanted to make a perfume that kind of got that had like the whole environmental aspect about it as well. And so I started this, obviously, like I said, with a neroli absolute. This one comes from Egypt, and it's just a really great material that I really love. I kind of also added some stuff to it that to kind of like emphasize as well nerol acetate, which is kind of a neroli molecule that I think just really adds some, help pull some sparkle to the top of it as well. And then also on that, let me find, I know it's in here somewhere, nectaril and apritone. So those two are going to be kind of more of like a creamy kind of like peach apricot kind of thing, but in using the dose amount that I have here, it's not really going to be up front. I just think it adds kind of like a creaminess to the flower. And then so the next is like a bitter orange bigarade. This is kind of more of an abstract accord meant to just prop up the neroli. So I use like C10 aldehyde, which is kind of a little bit waxy, kind of orange sparkle, like effervescence that I think really that and this element called rubofix, which is more of a rhubarb note, but kind of citrusy. And I think those two had like a really big effervescence, like a sparkle, like something that really conveys that sunshiny day. I also use core oranger and tamarine base, which are two things that are also kind of orangey green, kind of like the peel, something that's kind of just going to add that kind of orange note to it, the essence, that kind of like you scrape your finger on the orange peel thing. That really adds to the neroli without becoming one of those candy orange perfumes that I wasn't trying to go for on this. And then further, I use this black currant bud absolute, and I reinforce it with cassifix, which is kind of adds some of the more fruity notes of cassis or black currant bud. And I use that to kind of, it kind of goes there along with the neroli and adds to it a little more of a serious gravity to the orange. So that way it's not like a big, it's kind of like a contemplative scent, and it's. I think that kind of goes in with the chamomile absolute that I use. The chamomile absolute is kind of fruity. It's a little bit more richer than the like essential oil, but it's kind of got a green, fresh, fruity aspect to it that I think goes really well with that black currant bud. And those both play in well with the neroli. They kind of stay underneath there, and there's like a fresh vibrancy underneath that I think that allows the neroli to stay center stage, but it really just adds so much more depth and character to it. And then after that, there's a Texas cedar, which is kind of like a thick, wet cedar that I feel like kind of goes with that aspect. It's like what you would think of if you thought of like a big cedar, like a big red cedar kind of scent to it, like in like a cedar closet or cedar chest or something like that. So then I have an amber accord, and on this amber accord, I wanted to do something different than you would think of like your normal amber, where it's got like a big heavy vanilla thickness. This is going to be more resin dominant because I think that that's kind of one of the things you get with like especially really hot wood, kind of like you're going to get that resinous feel to it whenever the sun's really just pounding away at it. So labdanum is like the big key player here. There's a little bit of ethyl vanillin because I like ethyl vanillin in this more because it stays out of sight, and so you don't really want to smell it that much. You want the impression of it to be there. Further, I use like a double distilled patchouli in that to just give it a little bit more reinforce the labdanum, the resinous. It's like a minor player. I also use bicyclononolactone, which is kind of like almost like it's like a creamy coumarin kind of thing, but it's not restricted at all. So you can put a dose in there that's pretty decent. Not worry about it. Also, I just think, again, it's one that kind of sits back a little bit more because the whole point of this amber accord is to fill out the base and give it a lot of complexity and also a lot of weight, but not to take center stage like you would give with some amber perfumes. I also kind of use ambretolide, which is like a musk. It's like a nutty musk, like a vetiver almost. Like it goes well with vetiver. It doesn't smell like vetiver, but I love to use it with vetiver because it adds like that nuttiness to it that you get in some of those different types of vetiver as well. Also, I use some frankincense and elmi. I think that those, it's just a little, again, they work well in the amber accord, but they add some lightness to it, the terpenic notes, the kind of airy aspect that I wanted to add there. And then at the end, a little bit of oak moss as well. And then also, I finished it all off with veticone, which is kind of just to add to that more like that grapefruit peel smell of like vetiver. Again, not like a big thing, just something in there to kind of give it some character. And also some, ISOE super, just to kind of add some texture as well. Because like some of those naturals I used are just so big and thick that you just don't want to, you want to make sure you smell them. You're not smelling like nothing. Like sometimes they all come together and they get mushed together and you smell a big pile of everything but nothing at once. So like instead I want to be able to feature those things and exalt them and add some space in there so you can see them. So it's like almost like taking a step back so you can see everything, or else you're just like so deeply immersed in it. It's like you just don't get to appreciate the beautiful nuances of the material. So it's something that I think I've been wearing a lot. I'm not even a big summer perfume guy, but this is kind of what I really like because it's easy to wear. You can wear it very easily. But at the same time, there is like a complexity and a richness that you don't really expect when you first wear it, but the more you wear it, the more you get to know it. So it's something that I think kind of, it can be something you can wear to the office, because we're going to go to the office soon, so you're going to have an office perfume again. I'm not looking forward to it myself, but them's the shakes. But it's also something you can wear like out on like a formal occasion. You can wear really, anywhere you want to. So I think it's a really great, the definition of a good versatile perfume, and something I'm really excited to share. I have been sharing a lot of these. I've been selling samples of the test batch on my website, and you can go ahead to maherolfactive.com see if there's any left. I can't promise because it's just a limited amount. But the full release is coming on May 15th, and I will have it up and ready for you by then. So go check it out if there's some samples left. If not, I will be putting those in the discovery set upon release. And really look forward to sharing this with you and look forward to going out and enjoying the summer. So I will talk to you later.